and we're back. In this video, I'm gonna go over 5 small business ideas that have the ability to earn $1 million a year plus. But first, I'd like to apologize to everyone who has to look at this mop on my head. I'm growing my hair out. It's kind of in the awkward stage right now. I've been running a little experiment on it. It's not going so hot, so I apologize for that. But back to these businesses, I chose these 5 specifically for several reasons. First, because they have a relatively large industry size each, and that means there's the ability for a small competitor to come in, take out a small slice of the pie, and earn a relatively large amount per year. Also, each of these businesses aren't super technical. Almost anyone could start a business relatively quickly within these spaces and for not very much money. So I'm going to break down the price, the relative price to start in each of these businesses and to start in a really lean way. And on top of that, I'm going to break down this daunting idea of $1 million a year into smaller pieces and show that it's actually much more doable than we might think it is. You know, $1 million a year seems like a lot, but when we break it down into monthly or daily jobs, it's really not so bad. So I'm going to do that for each. So let's get right into it. And the first business I'm going to go over is a carpet cleaning business. And before you say that this business is basic or boring, I remember a few years back hearing a story about a teenager who started a carpet cleaning business, and he was doing something like $5 or $6 million a year just a few years into running this business. And I think he started when he was like 16 years old or something like that. And ever since hearing that story, I've been a little bit fascinated with the industry for multiple reasons, because the ability to earn that much in a competitive market, and because it's relatively cheap to start this business. For under like $1,000, you can get this business started, you know, in a cheap way. I looked online and you can buy a used commercial grade carpet cleaner for under like $500. You can get some basic marketing materials for under $100, and then some chemicals for the cleaner for around like $100. So all in, less than $1,000, you could get this started, presuming that you have a vehicle that you can, you know, drive from place to place in. Beyond that, it's just some basic advertising and some networking. So this is a business that I think there's a lot of opportunity in and the ability to scale with an industry size of $5.4 billion. I was a little bit shocked when I saw that number, because that means you need like less than 0.1% to earn $1 million a year. And the average job size for a carpet cleaner is about $250 for residential cleaning, or about $51 a room on average, which has the potential to earn much, much more if you get some commercial contracts. They tend to price things out between 15 and 20 cents per square foot. And so if you're looking at an office space size of like 2,000 square feet, you know, you're looking at just over $300 per cleaning with that. But, you know, office spaces can be like 40,000 square feet plus. So you have the potential to earn jobs, you know, in the $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 range. Plus with commercial cleaning, you're going to be on a contract and a reoccurring service, because they're going to want you to come in every month or 3 months and clean the carpet. So you have that reoccurring income, which is something that's super huge as well in order to keep the stability of the business. Now that's on the commercial side. On the personal side, or the consumer side, you know, there's still earnings to be made there. And although someone might not have their carpet cleaned super often, they might have it every year or two, if you're doing a good job, you will get referrals from people to their friends who also need carpet cleaning done. So you will kind of have that cycle of business as well. Although you won't have the contracts with the, you know, the month-to-month commercial type, there's still the ability to have a consistent income if you're offering a really good service. So let's break down this $1 million a year mark. And in order to get $1 million a year on the personal side, you'd have to do about 3,000 cleanings a year, which seems like a lot. But if you break that down, that's really only 275 cleanings per month, or less than 10 a day, which 10 a day seems much more doable when you think about it, especially because one cleaner can probably do 5 or 6 in a day on a booked up schedule. So, you know, with 3 or 4 trucks out, you have the potential to earn $1 million a year. And 10 jobs a day sounds much more doable than 3,000 a year, although it's the exact same thing. On the commercial side, with commercial accounts, you need much fewer accounts to hit that mark. You could be doing like less than 20 commercial accounts a year and have the potential to be hitting over $1 million in revenue. So this is a business I'm excited about and I think has a lot of potential.
And the second type of business I'd like to talk about, and something that might not be on your radar, is a restoration company. Now, what restoration companies do is, after a home gets like fire or water damage, they come in and restore the home back into good condition. And I like this kind of business for several reasons. First, because they have a really high ticket price. Their average jobs are between like $3,000 and $6,000, and sometimes upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on severe damage. Secondly, because insurance companies are paying for these bills a lot of times, which also raises the price per job and increases profit margins if you can get those connections within commercial accounts. And lastly, because this industry is going nowhere anytime soon, I found a stat online that said 14,000 people in the United States per day sustain water damage to their home. Think about that. Think about how many companies are needed just to service half of those. There's definitely room and opportunity in this industry. And I saw online that the industry size in the US for restoration is $210 billion a year. Now, it doesn't take a large percentage of that to hit large numbers, especially if we're just going for a starter goal of $1 million a year. Now, this business does cost slightly more to start than some of the others on the list. You'll probably need a contractor's license, which, depending on the state, could vary between like $1,000 and $4,000. There's certain certifications that you either need or should have in order to succeed, like mold certifications that cost several $100s to get. There's certain equipment that you'll need, like air movers, industrial fans. It all kind of depends on how much work you want to do, because I know a lot of restoration companies will sub out their work, especially like the pack out type thing where people take furniture out of the homes, or the actual construction work, they'll refer that to some kind of contractor. You'll still need basic marketing materials, which can cost less than $100. So all in, at the very low end, you're looking somewhere between like $13,000 and $16,000 to start a business like this, depending on how you want to start it, which in the grand scheme of things though is still quite low, especially with the earning possibility in this business. And actually, I looked at my notes wrong. The average job is actually between $12,000 and $13,000, which means in order to hit $1 million a year, you're only looking at about 400 jobs per year, or around 33 per month. And if you have some connections built up, some contracts built up, which definitely can be done by anyone with some networking, these are definitely possible numbers. And $1 million a year is probably a small fry compared to some of these national brands. But I definitely recommend looking into this if you're looking to start a business. There's some definite opportunity there and room to expand within the market.
And the third business I'd like to talk about is one that I'm quite familiar with, and that is pool servicing. I started a pool servicing company when I was 18 years old, and this is also a business that there's a lot of things I like about in, and has the ability to scale to $1 million plus per year. The reasons why I like this business is it's a subscription-based business where you have these regular clients who are paying you a fixed rate every month, and on top of being a subscription-based business, by cleaning these people's pool every single month, you get first dibs at doing the larger jobs at their home, because pools are constantly breaking, and the average repair job is anywhere between like $350 and $2,000. So you're getting first dibs at that, plus you're making money every single month at a decent profit margin. Now with the cleaning, you do make a little bit less profit margin than the repair work, but together you're making a decent return, and it's definitely something worth looking into. So with pool cleaning, this is something that's super cheap to start. To start, you just need some basic equipment like a pole, a net, a little hand vacuum. Really for under like $300, you can buy all the supplies. For like $150, $200 maybe, you can buy all the chemicals. So basic marketing materials for under $100. And honestly, with this business, flyering works really well. Just going out, talking to people, putting cards on doors, and doing this enough, you will start to get your first few clients, and then there'll be a spread of word of mouth. And it's relatively easy to pick up clients in this business. In order to get $1 million a year, you need around 500 clients, because 60% of the income comes from regular servicing, 40% comes from repair work. So with 500 clients, you'd be making around $600,000 a year at an average price of $100 a month per client, plus you'd be making $400,000 a year in repair work. So this is totally doable, and this is an industry where there's a lot of small players and a lot of poor service. So if you come out there with some really good customer service and consistency, you show up when you say you're going to every single week, you do a good job, people are going to tell their friends, and things grow quickly. And I have the experience to attest to that. This is definitely something I recommend looking into. And the next type of business I want to talk about is building out closets or storage spaces for people's homes. Think like classy closets or California closets. I found a stat online that said that this industry is expected to hit $10.5 billion a year in the United States in 2019. And there's a few reasons why I like this business. First, because there's a high price per job. It's relatively easy to get into. If you're looking to do like the woodworking stuff yourself, yes, you will need some woodworking skills, and there are certain courses online that can teach exactly how to do this. So if that's something you're interested in, there's courses online to do that, or that's something that could be contracted out to do the woodworking for someone, or an employee that's hired who knows how to do that while you manage the business. Probably will need a contractor's license, depending on the state, to start this business. If you're going to be doing the work yourself, you'll need some specialized tools, probably around $4,000 or $5,000 for that. There may be some basic licensing that you need depending on your state as well, and some basic marketing materials. So all in, this is another business that you're looking at probably around $15,000 to start on the low end. And the average price per job in this industry is $3,000 to $5,000, with some jobs exceeding $50,000 on the luxury end of the market. You're looking at between 200 and 300 jobs a year, or between 20 and 30 jobs a month. And to me, that seems totally doable after you build some connections. You know, people I would talk to are real estate agents, home builders, general contractors, anyone who's dealing with people who are either moving into new homes or looking to renovate their current home are people that I would get in contact with, try to build rapport with, build relationships with, and try to get that word of mouth, in-person connections built so that people are referring you for free to send clients to your business if this is something that you're interested in. And that brings us to the fifth business I'm going to talk about, and that is a home inspection business. Now, there's several reasons why I like a home inspection business. First being, it is really cheap to get into, like insanely cheap to get into, and the price per job is relatively high for what is actually needed to be done. I remember when I bought my home, I paid something like $450 for an inspector to come and check out my house, and he couldn't have been here longer than like an hour and a half, had some basic tools, you know, checked around. I'm sure he did a great job, but what he did had to have been fairly easy, and he got paid a good amount to do it, and he told me he had 6 other jobs in the same day. So you can do the math to see, you know, the earning potential here. And I looked online, and in order to get certified, to be able to do home inspections, it takes between like 10 days and 4 weeks to get certified, and for around $700. So, and that's it. That's what you need to be certified as a home inspector. And then on top of that, you need some basic tools, you know, probably under like $200, and some basic marketing materials. So for such a low price, you have the opportunity to be earning nearly hundreds of dollars per hour. And that's why I think there's a huge opportunity here. And with this business, I also think it's not going anywhere anytime soon, because it's required a lot of times when you're buying a home to get an inspection done. And as a corollary, that's also a perfect place to have an in and get jobs sent to you at a regular basis. So with me, the mortgage company told me that I needed to get an inspection done on my house. So if you think about, the mortgage company is telling people they need this done. If the mortgage company has an inspector they love and want to send work to, they're going to tell their clients, hey, you need to get an inspection done, and here is someone who's really good at it, we recommend them. So if you think about other businesses that deal with people who are buying new homes, like a real estate agent, for instance, that's another person that definitely has the opportunity to refer a home inspector to their clients or just other people they know. And the average job price for a home inspection is between $300 and $500. So you're looking at between like 2,000 and 3,000 jobs a year to hit that $1 million a year mark, or between 200 and 300 a month, or only 6 to 9 per day in order to hit that $1 million a month, which when you break it down that far seems so doable. You know, between 1 or 2 inspectors, you could be hitting $1 million a year in revenue. You might be asking, is there enough business to go around to sustain another inspection company? And I think yes. The home inspection industry is a $4 billion a year industry. And like I said, a lot of times it's required for people to get them done when they buy a new home. So that's it. That's all the businesses. I chose these 5 businesses for specific reasons, and as you probably noticed, none of them were online businesses. I chose them specifically because I don't foresee any of these businesses going anywhere anytime soon. Now, I might be wrong with that, but I just don't see a huge upheaval in any of these industries. Not to say that you can't make money online or that I won't talk about it in the future. I just wanted to give some more concrete examples because I find that these types of examples are easier for people to envision their self doing. You know, it's pretty easy to think about buying the supplies to start a pool company and just doing it. So I wanted to give real life examples in industries with large market shares that definitely have room for someone to take a little slice of the pie. So if you have any other questions or if you want to run any business ideas by me and to see my thoughts, do so in the comments below or shoot me a message. Also, I'm thinking about starting a series where I break down how to start specific businesses and do a step-by-step, like foolproof process. This is how you start this kind of business. If this is something you're interested in, let me know and comment below a specific kind of business or message me a specific kind of business you would like to know how to start. And I might make a small series where I go over like how to start business X for dummies. And also, like always, if you like this video, please give it a like. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm, helps spread this message to other people, and helps just spread the wealth. If you haven't already, also please subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified when I do upload. I try to only upload when I have really good content to upload and share. So I'd like to thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.